Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 16, Chapter 1, The Betrayal, Part 11. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Dino had been thinking hard for a long time when Zegion walked up to him in a calm way. "Do you have anything else you want to say?" he asked. "Haven't you been hiding from me this whole time just to make me show my cards? Stop being ridiculous, it's disgusting." Dino was the first one to complain, putting aside what he had done up to that point. Although he was only venting to him, it would be beneficial if the other person became enraged. "Ridiculous. We're going to fight." Zegion didn't care, of course. Dino also saw this, and that was the end of the conversation. There was trouble between the two. Dino knew how strong Zegion was. This was a good thing for Dino, but Zegion now knew about his ace in the hole. In that situation, there was nothing else to do but go head to head. Zegion excels at close quarters combat. Also, even though it hasn't been confirmed, it's likely that he has an ultimate skill. Dino, on the other hand, is good at attacking people's minds. No, if Dino uses his hidden skills, he is not constrained to that, but he didn't want to reveal them in this maze. "Well, I've already shown a lot of my trump cards, and it would be a big mistake to show them again." Dino, on the other hand, thought it would be fine to just run away. "Why don't you fight?" The things Zegion said were twice as stressful. Dino almost stiffened up at the question, but he fought it with all his strength. "Ha, don't underestimate me. I will always be a part of the octagram, no matter what. After living for so long, there's no way I'd lose to a little chick like you. Eat this or die. Fallen strike." He then lifted his greatsword high and swung it down at Zegion. There was no trading of tricks, just one blow that killed him. Dino, who is lazy, didn't want to waste a good move. Dino smiled, sure that his strike would work. Zegion has only ever seen how lazy Dino is, so he probably didn't think he would use a big move all at once. Dino was sure that everything worked out the way he had planned. But Zegion remained still. He wasn't unable to do anything, he just had a lot of time to deal with it. Zegion checked that Dino's sword was going in the right direction and caught it just before it hit him. Kuzurekiba, Crumbling Fang, a mythical-grade greatsword that swung down from above, was strong enough to break anything on Earth. Zegion's left-hand exoskeleton, which had been changed into a Hirakane, was ready for this kind of blow and he took it in stride. "You didn't even try to avoid my sword, you just faced it straight on. I won this fight," Dino called out. The way he had been being lazy had finally caught up with him at this point. Even though, in reality, it wasn't an act or a performance, he liked to think of it that way. It was the fastest move the Dino could make at the time, but Zegion was able to catch it as expected. This was unavoidable, since bigger swords usually gave up speed. But in exchange, they got a lot of power. Zegion caught it with one hand, like it was a simple attack. That alone was a good thing. But Zegion's left arm must have been hit very hard right now. His left hand doesn't look broken, but I guess he won't be able to use it for a while. He's still standing there, but I'll just have to wait, Dino thought to himself as he looked at Zegion, who didn't seem to care about anything. Dino, on the other hand, won this game. The distortion field that Zegion has is amazing, but it can only stop physical attacks. Dino's ultimate fallen strike would go right to Zegion and break through any physical barriers. Getting my opponent to drop their guard because they thought this was a physical attack with a big sword when it was actually a deadly mental attack is how I won. Zegion is powerful, in fact. Dino thought that Zegion would look down on him to show how much better he was. He knew Zegion wouldn't try to avoid the attack because he was good at close quarters fighting. Man, give me a break. Even if he doesn't come back, I'm sure the bracelet will, so I should quickly go get Ramirez. Dino spat that out and then looked at Beretta. But there was a break at this point. He thought, there's something wrong. First, Beretta didn't worry about Dino. Dino's magicule count was low not only because he had been in a lot of fights, but also because he had already used his trump cards. Even so, Beretta wouldn't be able to beat Dino, and the look in Beretta's eyes showed that he was still calm and sure of himself. Under the mask, he couldn't see his real face, but it was still creepy. "Think you can beat me? Ho ho ho, you must be joking. I'm not thinking about winning. But you're not my opponent, so I don't have to." Dino felt a strong chill as soon as he heard those words. Dino quickly turned around and looked at Zegion in a panic. In fact, the Zegion that had stopped moving was acting strangely. Since he hadn't been broken by a mythical-grade blow, Zegion's left arm must have also been mythical-grade strong. If that was true, it wasn't strange that he had the same amount of willpower as a spiritual life form. It made sense to think that he had an ultimate skill, which was a worry before. No way. I'll ask you, does your attack take time to work? Or did you really think you could beat me with one light blow that doesn't even tickle? Dino said to himself. There was no question about it. Zegion had an ultimate skill. It was hard to tell what kind of power it was, but it was strong enough to stop Dino's spiritual attacks. You thought that I might have an ultimate skill, right? If that was the case, you should have come at me in more than one way instead of being so gentle. This time, you lost because you were too lazy. Don't talk as if you've won. Zegion put out his left hand when he saw Dino yelling like that. When his closed fist opened wide, there were 5 flashes of light. It was the dimension ray, dimensional cutting ray, of Zegion. Dino tried to get away as fast as he could, but he was only just able to avoid a fatal wound. But from the elbow down, his right arm was severed. He wanted to cry out in pain because it hurt so much, but now was not the time. His instincts told him that if this kept up, he would be in real danger. So you really do have an ultimate skill, huh? I didn't think you would be able to stop my Fallen Thanatos spell from working. Don't tell me that mental attacks don't work on you, too? That's not a question I have to answer. Zegion was, of course, very cruel. Then, though, a cold voice told him what to do. But I'll speak for you, miserable one. This so-called dream, or the mystery, if you will. From the start, I've held you in the palm of my hand. Remember that I am the Mist Lord, king of the world of illusion, and that mental attacks are useless against me. This was the way a strong man who was kind to his enemies thought. Dino was shocked to hear these words and figure out what they meant. Since his own ability had been cancelled out, his opponent's ability was better. In other words, he saw that Zegion had grown into a being just like himself, no, even more powerful than himself. It has to be false, right? Even though he is so good at melee combat, he is better at mental combat? This guy just said that he is the king of the world of illusion. In other words, has he gotten to the point where he can make a unique world? You must be kidding me, right? How much more powerful can he get? You can't win against this kind of opponent if you don't prepare. The plan to kidnap Ramirez was wrong from the start, and as soon as Zegion finished his evolution, it was a sure thing that the plan would fail. Dino sighed deeply when he realized this and looked up to the sky. He was completely speechless when he saw a figure on one of the monitors. Oh, Velgrynd? That pretty girl with blue hair was definitely Velgrynd. After she beat Veldora, she was supposed to fight the demon lord Rimuru outside the labyrinth, but now she was with Masayuki and the others. Even scarier was the fact that Cornu was nowhere to be found. No way, not even close. Most of the time, bad dreams come true. Dino knew this from his own experience. Hold on a minute, I just don't have enough information to understand it all. Is it? Feldway was said to be in charge of Velgrynd, but was that a lie? Or did she find a way out of it? Does that mean that Cornu was killed by Velgrynd, no matter what? No, it's no longer a question of failing in battle, right? Dino turned his thought acceleration all the way up as he tried to figure out what was going on. He finally decided that no matter how hard he tried, he would not be able to continue with the operation. He had always wanted to get away, but now he didn't even want to try. Dino thought he had done well enough. Pray, if you have been to hell, you need to be sorry for your sins and die. Dimension storm. Dino was eaten by a rainbow-colored storm, and his existence was wiped out. It really was a supernaturally powerful storm. Dino couldn't do anything, so he vanished without leaving a trace. Oh, did God answer your prayers? Your bad luck is something to be proud of. Zegion made a noise. As Dino's existence appeared to be resurrected, there was a faint sound of something breaking coming from somewhere. Zegion had a good idea of what was going on. His voice stayed calm even though everything went as Zegion had planned.